Today, I want to share with you a little bit about fasting protocols, when it might be a good time, and why it might be a good time for you to switch up some fasting protocols, why it might be perfectly fine for what you are currently doing, and why you shouldn't be changing that up. And then I'm going to briefly go over the basic fasting protocols just in case you are new to fasting and you're curious. My name is Diane Parham. I'm the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Asian Woman. I have a really quick announcement I want to make at the beginning of this video, just to make sure that you are aware of what we have going on. In the month of June 2025, I will be bringing back the community group for intermittent fasting course members for the month of June. If you are a graduate and you are feeling like you need a little refresher, this will be a really good course and opportunity for you as well. I will be adding on a 4th week of content inside our community group, explaining some longer fasting protocols, why it might be a good idea to switch things up a little bit. And I will also be sharing with you why it is that fitness and how it is that fitness can enhance what it is you're looking for from your fasting, and why we need it to enhance what it is we all want in our lives, and that's to live a long, happy, and healthy life. So I will include a link down below for you to get on my email list. If you're already on my email list, don't worry, you're going to get an email from me. If you are a graduate, please keep an eye out on your inbox, because I will be sending you a personalized invitation to join us. You will have renewed access, or you will continue access with your intermittent fasting course. You will gain access to the community group and the interaction that goes on with your community inside there as well. If you're new and haven't taken the course yet, this is a perfect time to jump in, because I do not always host community groups anymore, and it'll be a great time for you to get some one-on-one attention and an opportunity to get some questions answered. Okay, let's get on with today's video. So I have personally been changing up my fasting protocols. I've been talking about it quite often here on my YouTube channel, simply because I can, right? My life has changed. My kids have grown up. They're all out of school. They're doing their own thing. My husband has retired. He's working from home. And so my entire schedule and routine and life has changed. And so what used to work with me with the 20-hour fast and the 4-hour feast, which was just purely delightful when I wanted family feasting time with the people that I love and the people that I live with, is no longer really a necessity for me or anything that I need to strive for, because pretty much everybody's doing their own thing. So that allows me an opportunity to do my own thing without feeling like I'm missing out on anything that's going on in my life and my family. Another priority that I have really leaned into this year is enhancing my fitness. I have a lot of time on my hands. I have a lot of energy. There's nothing holding me back from working out. And so I have leaned pretty heavily into my fitness routine, and I want to make sure that that is supported as well with just consuming more nutrients and more nutritional intake. And so that doesn't always allow for a longer fasting time. What I can tell you with what I've done with varying up my fasting and what I've done with my fitness is that I have seen nothing but positive results from it, and I'm absolutely loving it. And this is what I want to share with you guys here in this community: is you do not have to do everything the same all the time. If what you're doing is working for you, and it worked for me for 7 or 8 years, I literally fasted for 20 hours a day and feasted for 4 because it fit my life. And that's what I always really like to re-emphasize with creating a fasting lifestyle and not just a fasting diet protocol, is that you want your fasting to fit into your life. You do not want to adjust your life so that you can fast, right? And so since my life has changed, I do have an opportunity to adjust my fasting and my feasting, and as well as my fitness. So my fasting during the week and on the weekends varies. I can fast anywhere from 16 to 20 plus hours. I really just kind of let it flow with my day. And again, what it is, my expectations are from my body in the physical fitness arena. So if I have a heavier workout day, I might have a shorter fasting window just to accommodate the nutritional goals that I have. And if I have a lighter fitness day, or if I have an endurance day where I'm doing like a long run, I also don't feel like I need as much payback in nutrition. So I might fast a little longer on those days as well. So I really do go with the flow of how I'm feeling and my day. So if you're new to fasting and you're a woman who is struggling through menopause and you have a lot of things that are going on that you're unhappy with, what I really like to emphasize is that 20-hour fast and that 4-hour feast, simply because that 20-hour fast gives you a long enough time in that fasting window for optimal healing. Oftentimes, when we're transitioning through menopause, our hormones are changing, our body is just out of balance. We might have some cellular degeneration going on, which is where a lot of that brain fog is coming from, and just those pesky little aches and pains. And so, that 20-hour fast gives you enough time in the fasting window to reset your hormones, specifically your hunger hormones, as well as give you enough time in autophagy to really get in and get that cellular cleanup that a lot of us need just simply because we've lived a lot of years. But if you're more advanced with your fasting and you've been fasting for a while and you're like, gee whiz, I wonder if I'm at a point where I can play with some things and build in some flexibility, I say this is probably a good time for you to experiment with that. And that's simply what I'm doing. So one day a week, I am adding in a 24+ hour fast. And I say plus because I don't break my fast hard at the 24-hour mark. If I'm busy, I just stay in my fasted state. If I'm feeling great, I stay in my fasted state. If it just doesn't make sense to break my fast at the 24-hour mark, I just stay in my fasted state. So what I've been noticing is that I'm averaging about a 25, 26-hour fast. And I started on Monday, either late morning, early afternoon, and then I go through Tuesday. One of the things that I have been adding in with that fast very specifically is a nighttime workout just to enhance getting my body into a state of ketosis or an opportunity to produce ketones, because that is my goal with this 24-hour fast, to see if my body can actually get into that fat utilization and produce ketones. If I'm producing ketones, check. I have won the game. I don't judge how much ketone production I have going on. Did I produce ketones? Yes or no? And I feel like that's my goal. I also go into it for the length of time, knowing that at some point in that 24+ hour time frame, I will be tapping into a state of autophagy. And so I do use this as sort of a cellular cleaning day as well, just kind of like a spring cleaning day, just to keep my body in tip-top shape. I can tell you that I have noticed nothing negative from varying up my fasting during the week. And I do credit that to my dedication to my fitness, using healthy nutritional choices that I know serve me well. I do try to stay away from things that my body has a known intolerance to, so I don't have any bad days because of nutritional choices. And I just make sure that I'm fueling my body for what it is I am expecting of it. I've also noticed an increase in my exercise output or performance, which is always nice. And so I'm really appreciating and enjoying that opportunity as well. I noticed over the course of the last few weeks with this one simple 24-hour fast that the benefits of that time frame are slow burning, so to speak. And so I'm noticing like the after effects of that fast multiple days into my week. My fitness is great. My sleep is great. My energy is great, despite the fact that my other days are not as long in the fasting window. And I do credit it to just that opportunity to be in ketosis and to get that quick cleanup cellularly. Every other day of my week has just been amazing. I've noticed also some subtle physique changes. Nothing that's just grandiose, right? Because I'm not really doing it for that reason. But I'm noticing that my fitness clothes specifically are fitting a little bit differently, and it's all in a positive way. I'm noticing a reduction in some visible body fat, which I'm also loving. And I'm noticing a little more prominence in my muscles on my body. I've been doing a lot of strength training, so they're popping, which I also love. And I do think that's just because of the opportunity I'm giving my body to decrease some inflammation and utilize that fat that my body is storing, hence the ketone production. I do this very loosely and I do this with ease. I think it is super fun being in a fasted state. I love challenging my body and I love seeing what my body's capable of doing. So to me, the Monday to Tuesday fast is just fun. I can't wait for Monday to roll around so I can get into a state of ketosis. I get that energized sense of calm. I get the mental clarity and my body just feels so energized and just full of life. I absolutely love it. And again, I'm not noticing anything on the negative side or if I'm losing any of the benefits when I'm fasting for a shorter period of time on the other days. So I think it is just a cumulative response to fasting in general. One of the things that I was asked about this little change up that I've been doing with my fasting on Monday to Tuesday is, have I lost any weight? I do not fast or exercise or consume food for weight loss. I purely do it for the health benefits and for the feeling I get when I have everything lined up and dialed in to allow my body to look and feel its best. So if I'm losing any weight, it's just a natural byproduct of making really informed choices for my body. I do recommend that if you're doing any kind of fasting like this, that you do not weigh yourself, because the absence of food inside your body, food you're not consuming, will result in your body weighing less, because food has a weight density to it, right? So you're going to weigh less. And then as soon as you end your fast and you eat, if you weigh yourself, you're going to weigh more, because again, food has a weight to it. So do not weigh yourself if you're doing any of this kind of fasting. Just notice how you're feeling, notice your energy levels, and notice the physique changes that your body is making. Positive physique changes does not always result in a weight loss. So if you're looking for weight loss, you will probably be disappointed and think this is not working. But for someone who has been fasting for 10 years, I can tell you, when you dial in your fasting, when you dial in your nutrition, and when you dial in your fitness, your health will improve significantly if you're doing this consistently over time. And that is really what we should be striving for, because the weight will happen when your body is in a healthy state. So, like I said, I will be teaching this to you inside the intermittent fasting course for the month of June. I approach fasting from the mindset approach. How are you thinking about your life? How are you thinking about your body? How are you thinking about how you're taking care of yourself? If we can get those thoughts lined up so they serve you, then all of this becomes very simple and it just becomes very natural to you, and you will run to Monday forward to a long fast as well, or whatever day of the week you decide you might want to do that for yourself. Like I said, I have been fasting for 20 hours very consistently for several years, and the only reason I'm changing things up is simply because my life has changed. The 20-hour fast is still the golden rule fast for me. It is still the fast that I encourage women to do, especially if you're unhappy with how you're looking and feeling in your own skin. It is the easiest fast to maintain with a lifestyle in the sense of normalcy around people that you love and spend time with. But if you're at a place where everything's dialed in and you're pretty comfortable with your body, switching things up can be fun also. Everything that I discuss can be found, like I said, in the description box below. And then, hey, do me a favor. If you're a graduate, leave me a comment. Let me know when you graduated from class. If you're looking forward to joining us in the June class, I want to know, because I want to keep an eye out for you. And if you're new to our community or you're new to fasting, any questions that you have, or if you'd simply like to introduce yourself, please make sure you do that in the comment section below. That's the opportunity for us to get to know each other on a more personal basis.